Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and welcome to our Japa inspiration today. We are in Kerala, in South India, receiving some Ayurvedic treatments, and we are meditating that we are getting now a new body for the second half, maybe less, second half of our life. But we are very happy, despite of the intense schedule we have in the hospital. We thought at least we can keep the Japa inspiration, and we are very happy we can do that. I had recently some thoughts on becoming an observer, and this is actually what His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Maharaj was mentioning in one of his seminars he gave last year on Sharanagati. He was explaining that when we are in the position of observer, it's actually very, very efficient to detach ourselves from the false ego or from the false sense of identity. And we know that when we identify ourselves with the mind, then it's almost no chance to do anything. But only when we detach ourselves from the mind, we get some control. And being an observer is one of those key item that will help us to detach from the body and the mind. I was just reading yesterday one article of His Holiness Sachinandana Swami where he said, did it ever occur to you that perhaps 90%, 98% of our time we are in illusion? And then he explained this illusion comes about when we think, I am so and so, I am this body, I am so and so many years old. So that shows like this is the 98% of time in illusion is the time we are identified with this false ego. So becoming observer is helping us to detach from the body and the mind. And this can very nicely happen when we take the position an observer. In most of the meditation in the world, this is the first step of meditation, is to detach ourselves from the mind by becoming an observer. And only when we separate ourselves from the mind, we get ability to control it. There is this analogy we often mention in our Japa inspiration, is the analogy of the thief. If there is a thief in a shopping center who try to steal some items, and then suddenly you see the vendor, or I don't know how you say, the owner of the shop or the person who work in the shop coming close by, immediately he will feel observed and he will give up his tendency to steal, or he will give up the idea of stealing. So in the same way, when we observe the mind will be in his guard. He knows he is observed and he might not be able to go so easily away from the holy name because he is observed. He cannot go away. And that will be the exercise we will try to do now, because we know the mind will we chant, we try to be with the holy name, but we know that very soon the mind will try to go, will try to move away. So we are alert. We are, even before the mind goes, we are watching him. And as soon as he goes, or as quick as we can, when we notice that the mind maybe had gone already, we bring it back and we keep the mind in the with the holy name. So we just observe the movement of the mind, and we are very, very careful to not even give him the chance to go, to just be there and watch him so that he stays with the holy name. So that will be for the first part of today's inspiration. Hare Krishna. So we hear that the mind is actually a very subtle element. And in order to watch the mind and not let him go and bring it back, we also need to become very subtle and very alert in our observation of the mind. We need to become vigilant and really watch very carefully, like if you are a small guard watching a very important thing. So we try to bring the mind back as soon as it goes. And the mind has actually two ways in which it can go. It can go either in the past or either in the future. When it's in the present, then we can actually be with the holy name. And I think it's important. We don't want to be just dealing with our mind. We are bhakti yogis, and we want also some aspects of devotion into our practice. I was just remembering how much nectar is there into the holy name, and that can be a very nice way to help us keep the mind with the holy name by remembering how much nectar is there into the holy name that we are actually chanting. And in the month of June, usually we can see in Golokadam. I hope you can all follow me. I just got a message that our internet is very low. Yeah, it looks like in Golokadam in June, July, or like this, we often have some Bremsen, we call them in German. They are like horsefly, and you walk in the forest. It's all very beautiful, very joyful, but then you get those horsefly, and they are super determined. They know what they want, and they want blood and nothing else. And even when they start to bite, even if you try to move them away, they stay where they are. They keep drinking. And I was thinking of this analogy of how much we should actually be like them, stay with the holy name, knowing that there is actually the essence of our life. There is actually what we are looking for, absolutely, and not move an inch from the holy name, remembering, yeah, this is our life and soul. This is what we are looking for, this relationship with the holy name, this relationship with Radha and Krishna. So we remember how the holy name is important for us in our life, how much nectar is there in the holy name, and we keep watching, very carefully. We become very subtle and we watch the movement of the mind, and we really want to stay with the holy name to experience its sweetness and its presence. I'm sorry, I just noticed I forgot to make any PowerPoint today. So I will just make a nice picture of Radha Madan Mohan in the background, and they will be with us for the chanting. Hare Krishna. I was listening recently a lecture from Haripashad Prabhu that he gave in Ljubljana temple about darshan, about seeing the Lord face to face. And there he was at some point he was asking the question to his audience, what is the Lord consuming? What is the Lord interested in? What is the Lord actually taking from us that we might like to give him? And then, of course, the answer is devotion, love and devotion. This is actually the only things that interest the Lord. And the question now we will give us two tasks to the mind. We will keep observing the mind that it doesn't go away from the holy name, but we will also observe that the mind is in the proper mood, that the mind is in a mood of devotion. And anytime we catch the mind being somewhere else or not in the proper mood, then we will remind him, I have now to chant with love and devotion. And we can make it super simple. We do it by offering our mantras to the Lord. My dear Lord, please accept this mantra is for you. Please accept this mantra is for you. This is like the mood of devotion. We dedicate our practice of chanting and our endeavor to stay with the holy name, to observe the mind for the pleasure of the Lord. So now it gets serious. The mind has two tasks: to not allow the mind to go away from the holy name, and to make sure that the mind is in the proper mood and proper consciousness of chanting in a mood of devotion, offering our mantra to Radha and Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So thank you for joining us today. We are actually trying to observe our mind and keeping our mind with the holy name, because we know that the holy name and Krishna are non-different. The holy name and Radha and Krishna are non-different. Therefore, we want to stay with the holy name because we want to experience their presence, their association. Now, I think I say something slightly philosophically wrong today in the thing, because I was saying, check that the mind is in the mood of devotion. And actually, it's not the mind that is in the mood of devotion, but it's us as a soul. But we are just watching that the mind is not taking us away. We are chanting, we are in this mood of devotion, we are trying to offer those mantras, and the observance that we have is that we are extremely careful to not allow the mind to take us away, and to be able actually to all the time stay in that mood of devotion together with the holy name. So it's not the mind that's supposed to be, that we have to teach the mind to be in devotion, but it's us who are chanting with devotion, and we observe the mind carefully so that it doesn't take us away from that mood of devotion. I expressed it a little bit wrongly and found it's important to clarify. I see, Benuya, you have raised your hand. If you like to ask your question.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, please accept my most humble obeisance. Jai Srila Prabhupada. I'm happy for you that you are back in India, and I hope everything will go well for you. You answered almost my question. I thought, yeah, if we are in the position of the observer, that means at first I need the identification that I'm a spirit soul. Ne? Also, so I think these,
Yeah.
also at least for me, the much more difficult part is that I'm in this identification modus. No? I'm a spirit soul. No?
Yeah, correct. I touched a little bit in the beginning when I spoke about Bhaktivedanta Maharaj seminar, where he was saying that actually being in the observer role is what is helping us most, or a lot, to actually disidentify from the mind and the body. And only when we disidentify with the mind and observe the mind, then we are in our right position as the soul. And especially if we enter into working on devotion, working on the proper mood, then we can see our real identity is vibrating. We are feeling it. It's us. Yes, it's us. And then we just have to be careful to not let the mind come over and take us away from that mood and that identity. Therefore, we are very careful to not allow the mind to just take us away, not even for a second. We are there. We are with the holy name. We are with trying to please Radha and Krishna, and no chance we give to the mind to take us even for the slightest amount of time. It's easy to say that's work in progress, and that's not something we do from one day to the other, but it's actually very, very helpful to enter this our real identity with this exercise of observing the waves of the mind and not letting us take us away. Thank you so much. We wish you all the best. Thank you for joining. We are a little bit out of mind here with all the massage and all what is happening. Next Monday, hopefully, I manage to put some slides again, and and we will start slowly to teach also some of the other course that we usually teach. For those of us who follow, we will keep you updated in message. We do what we can according to the situation here. Thank you so much. Wishing you all the best. Happy chanting. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Take care for yourselves. The slides are not so
Thank you,
important.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.